Dr. Jasser, I'm sure you're receiving a lot of media requests right now because people have a lot of questions about what's going on in the Middle East. How should we think, from your perspective, about what's happening with Israel and Gaza?
I think the first step is to decimate Hamas's leadership and defeat them militarily, just like it was when the Trump administration appropriately finally said, you know, let's get rid of ISIS first and then deal with the issues after. Second, once Hamas is decimated, then the next step is to say, okay, so wait a minute, how many times does this Hydra need to keep getting a head back before, you know, whether it's Al-Qaeda, then ISIS, Hamas, Al-Qaeda back, Hamas again. What are we going to do long-term to protect our security? Number one is to stop the hemorrhaging at the border here. And that we've seen, not only are there 160 people on the terror watch list that we don't know where they are, but have come through the border, but Hamas is coming through and Hezbollah and others. Secondly is we need a forward strategy. We've been playing defense on the wokeism into our universities,
Yes,
into TikTok and all these other things, social media. We need an offense. Advance. We can't win this militarily. Like you've said so wisely so many times, we keep thinking we can nation build and send troops, and we're not going to. But we do need to have we need to have a dog in the fight, if you will, as far as the ideas that are being battled across the Middle East and across the world, and represent our interests in the media, just like we did in the Cold War. We didn't have to fire a bullet against the Soviets and they fell apart because we had Radio Free Europe, because we had the pushing of ideas. And I can tell you, a quarter of the world's population is Muslim.
Yeah.
And the women's movement in Iran, the best anti-nuclear program in Iran would be for us to pump ideas and help them. We don't need troops. Just help them ideologically.
I think I know why, though, Doctor. I mean, I don't want to be too sinister, but the American intel agencies and government are hesitant to reform Islam because I think theocratic Islam hates America as much as they do. I mean, I hate to be that dark.
Okay, but I'm so glad you asked that, Charlie, because, again, as a member of Congress, this is not about reforming a faith.
Yeah.
This is about advancing ideas of liberty,
it would be
free
good for
speech.
America.
Exactly, and advancing within their society secular liberal democracy.
So this is why I'm cheering for you, Dr. Jasser. I wanted to have you on. The liberalization, I mean that in the best way.
Classical liberalization.
Yes, of Islam would be good for the planet.
Amen. And it's long overdue. And I would tell anyone who thinks that, this is why I think my candidacy is about diversity. It's about the fact that the true party of diversity are the Republicans, because we believe in diverse ideas. It's not about skin deep, we are colorblind to any of our candidates and any of our constituents, but the idea of political diversity, ideological diversity, is that we would push the fact that you have free speech on campus, you should have free speech around the world, and the ideas of liberalization involve not putting people in prison because they argued against the Islamic State, because they argued. We need to be defending these ideas and giving them the platforms to do so.
I didn't give you adequate time to do this, Dr. Jasser, but you said the Islam that you grew up with. What are the tenets of the faith that you believe are compatible with Western culture, that you live your life with? Piety, humility.
It's about morality, family. My personal family values with my wife. My kids are 21, 19, and 15. We teach them to be humble, to be honest, that any single thing that they're dishonest about will then affect their character. It's about character strength and helping those that are weaker than you, that when you see somebody in need, you help them. This is why I went into medicine, why I focus on medical ethics as one of my expertise. And ultimately about leaving the world a better place than you found it, about speaking out against things that are wrong, against things that are unethical, that are evil. It's about the fact that God watches us at every moment, whether you're by yourself or with your family or with the world, that ultimately you're held accountable for all the things that you do, and that we are people of integrity and people of honesty.
Dr. Jasser, a battle for the soul of Islam, 30 seconds, anything you wanted to plug or mention that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, I think ultimately the issues that concern me are the border, our healthcare, our national security, the economy and growth. These are the issues that I will bring to fight for our citizens here and across the country. I think the party can be rebranded as a party of diversity, and that there's going to be a wave that puts Biden out of the White House, that puts the likes of Greg Stanton here out of Congress, and ultimately will be a new day for our party and for conservatism.
Amen. A battle for the soul of Islam. Again, the website is z4az.com.